I wanted to talk a little bit more about AoE4. You've seen the trailers, you've seen the gameplay. What are your initial thoughts? Have you had any behind the scenes stuff before any of us had? Did you see
I played the game as well.
Did you really?
I think I'm allowed to say that.
I mean,
think my percent. Yeah, I think I'm not probably.
Yeah, I don't want to get you in trouble. Yeah, don't say anything that you can't. I don't want to get in trouble. But what do you think from the trailer and the gameplay?
It's promising. Obviously, it should be a really good game. It's like people expecting probably too much from it. I don't think it will absolutely
revolutionize RTS
replace.
games, or replace,
yeah, replace Age of Empires 2. It's like when devs were making Age of Empires 2, it was a masterpiece. They didn't expect the game to be that good. Like there's no way. Like at that time, we had the lag. We had the basic population is 75.
Yeah, I talked to Sandy and he told me he didn't expect the game to even be played at this level, at this 200.
Yeah, and with the micro dodging, ballistic, all those things nobody ever expected when they built the game. So they just built something amazing without even knowing it will be that amazing. And now they have that experience and they are like forcing themselves to make something amazing. I don't think that's how it works. It comes naturally. So I think it will be a really good game, probably one of the best new real-time strategy games. But good as Age of Empires 2, I don't think we will have any game as good.
Yeah, they're almost doomed by their own success because they set the bar so high. It's like Jordan winning, 6 rings in 7 years. How the hell is anyone to top that? Even if you did 5, it still wouldn't be good enough, let's say.
Yeah. I don't think anything will replace this game.
Did you know that actually they had different plans for relics? Like they had every relic would have a different ability.
Oh, didn't know that. No.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna plug my own podcast here with Sandy. He was so interesting. He talked about so many different things that I didn't know about, and he doesn't even. So when AoE2 came out, he said monks weren't really used, and when I told him monks are pretty common in almost every single game, he couldn't believe it. Like he couldn't understand because he himself was responsible for trying to make monks like more usable. So he gave him all these abilities and all these things. No one touched them.
Yeah, because like in old days we had the lag as well, and microing them, nobody had APM for that. Just the screen, like we had the small 14-inch monitors, and the TC took the whole screen. You cannot click on the month and the night on the same screen. Now we can convert from the really long distance, and like obviously it's the best unit in the game if you micro it perfectly.
Right, and you can shift key, you can do all these other things.
Yeah.
Same thing with fish. Apparently they didn't know that fishing was actually going to be a really good like economic thing in the game. So when they first got to the first tournament and they saw some guy like building 20 fishing ships, they're like, oh fuck. we should have nerfed ships or something like that.
Yeah, well, they make sense to be really good because like they cost like a farm and it's an extra village.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it was a secondary part of the game. Fishing or like water was like pushed to the side, and they're like, no one's gonna touch water. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they will probably think landing will be the most important thing ever.
Right.
And now nobody wants to land. Like you control everything from water.
Right. Once you have water, it's game over.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to talk a little bit about specific mechanics of AoE4 that I thought were interesting, and I just wanted to see what your thoughts were. The units being able to hide in Fog of War, because we saw that in the trailer. Do you welcome this? Does this seem like a League of Legends almost type edition? Want to get as good as Daut? Well, you're going to need some help. Head over to gamerlegion.gg for some expert coaching to improve your AoE skills. They have highly skilled, world-class players ready to help you step up your game and avoid those Daut castles. Interested in other games? No problem. Gamer Legion has you covered. They offer expert coaching in games like Warzone, Rocket League, Counter-Strike, and much more. Link can be found in the description of the video. Are you worried about this in online?
They need to attract the audience. Like those are the hype moments. Like now we have Onager Micro, and that's about it. Like imagine like he got 20 crossbow, and now knights are getting out of the Fog of War and killing everything. Like those hype of the moments. Like StarCraft got banelings that can go inside the ground, and
yes,
those things bring the hype, and that's probably not as Age of Empires 2. Like I said, they will not replace the game. They will make a new game. So if you go play Age of Empires 4, don't expect Age of Empires 2. Yeah. It's a new game. And it will be a good game, but it will be a new game. Like Age of Empires 3, for example, I think it's a really good game, quite a good game, but nobody liked it because everybody expected Age of Empires 2. We already have Age of Empires 2. There is no reason to make another same game, so it will be a different game, but it doesn't mean it will be a bad game.
Sandy actually thought that AoE3 was better than AoE2. Like mechanically, it was a better game, and it's much more ambitious, and they had all these cool things that they wanted to do. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, they have a lot more options, but it's like you have nothing, no buildings, and then suddenly you have like 20 units. People
Right.
couldn't get over that.
Right. These scenic parts in games are really important, especially in StarCraft. Like the tanks when they blow up like Marines and you see their like guts splash. Like those are.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, for the people casuals that are watching, like that's what they want to see. They want to see Bailings, cannon ships, battleships with little interceptors, all that. I feel
exactly.
like that's gonna be hard to replicate though in a game set in this era, in this time period.
I agree. That's why they have that hidden attack. That's a good way to go. Like people used to fight like that. You have small forts, but you hide in the wood. So it will be a different, obviously. The problem is like Age of Empires was always slower piece game. StarCraft goes super fast, and those moments happen, and then next moment something else explodes. Here you take your sweet time, and I think Age of Empires 4 will be slower as well. It makes sense, right?
That makes sense. Game. Yeah. What else is there? Was also one that I saw. It was units can fight on top of walls. I don't know if you do. You remember that? You can garrison.
I saw animation, but I think that's only for campaigns.
Oh.
I don't feel that will be. I really don't think that will be in the game. Would make no sense, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how would we do that in the
like walling is already like imagine now making Palisade War and putting arch inside. Like, why would you ever make a tower? Like,
yeah, these guys would absolutely be tryharding. Towers built into walls. Yeah, I'm wondering how many things of these like are only in the campaign. Then buildings can be lit on fire.
That's probably. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say.
Yeah. But this is all that we saw in the trailer, so we can just talk about what we see in the trailer. Scouts bringing in deers. Units getting power-ups when they're next to certain buildings. Gunpowder.
Bringing the deers is a freaking blessing. No more deer pushing with the scout. Just pick up the deer, bring it home, and go for the next one. Not like push little bit, and then you go back and you're like, you want to resign.
Yeah.
Just pick up.
But I mean, that wasn't even a thing anyone even thought about. Like when they built the game, no one thought they were going to be pushing.
Exactly. That's why I say they made Age of Empires and they didn't even know what they made.
Yeah. This game got pushed to its very limits with like fundamentals and techniques. Like it was probably nothing compared to what they actually built.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Gunpowder units stagger cavalry. I thought that was interesting. If you have like a guy with a gun and he shoots like a horse, it does a damage, but it also stops the run.
I didn't know that.
You didn't see that? Okay. Area effect mass conversion on the relics.
I saw that animation. I think again it's a campaign. It cannot be a real game.
Imagine that would be. Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah. So let me ask you this then: if you could build your own Age of Empires 4, what would you build? Would you build a really detailed version of Age of Empires 2 with no lag, no glitches, no bugs, and just built in the modern day? Or would you go completely different, go into the space, like StarCraft era, or...
Well, like I already said a few times, building the perfect Age of Empires 2 is what we should have in DE. That should not be Age of Empires 4. They should keep working on Age of Empires 2D, making it perfect every single patch, and like until they get the best game ever. Well, best version of Age of Empires 2. But Age of Empires 4, should be a completely different game. Like with the mechanics like hiding in the fog and stuff like that. It should just be a different game. So you can choose what you like to play, not like... If you have exactly the same game as Age of Empires 2, then what's the point of Age of Empires 2? Just delete that game and we all move to Age of Empires 4.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are pessimistic. I don't know. I think it's better to be optimistic and then see what happens.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be a good game. Obviously, a lot of people will expect Age of Empires 2, but the game will be good. There is no question about that. They are investing a lot of time. Like even now, they are supporting the community amazingly. So they are investing a lot in Age of Empires 4. They know their mistakes. They know what they need to do. It will be a good game. I'm confident in that. Now, will people like it as Age of Empires 2? That's something nobody knows.
Yeah, it's a Pandora's box. We don't know till we open it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, thank you so much for watching the clip all the way to the end. Soon I'd like to do a solo podcast to tell you guys a bit more about myself. So here are some topics I came up with that I hope you'd be interested in. How I became the top 4,000 ranked StarCraft 2 player in the world, how I got Stipe on the pod, how to make viral videos, how to change careers, why I'm moving to Spain, why engineering jobs suck, and why I don't want this to be an AoE only podcast. And if you have any questions you want to ask me, I'd love to invite you to our Discord. I'm rebuilding it, and originally it was a FIFA Discord. Now I want it to be a community around the podcast where people can come and talk to each other and learn from each other. And I just want people to have a good time in my Discord. If you're interested, links down below.